thank you, Anshul, for doing this. It really means a lot to me. I know we recorded our first part where we talked about your educational journey, and I was really surprised that you had applied to 9 universities. You had only one admit, and you got into UTD. And now we're gonna talk about your LinkedIn journey, how you got into LinkedIn from internship to full time. So I'm super excited. Thank you for your time and sharing your experience with us.
Thank you, Yudi. It feels really great to be part of this platform on YouTube and sharing this podcast with you and sharing my experience with a lot of people out there.
Awesome, awesome. All right, let's do a quick round of intro for people who might have not watched the first part or who might not know you.
So I am Anshul Pardhi. I am a current student at University of Texas at Dallas and I'm pursuing my master's in computer science. I did an internship at LinkedIn which got converted to a full-time job which I'll be joining in May 2021 once I graduate from the University of Texas at Dallas. And I'm feeling pretty excited for it.
That's so awesome. I mean, it's October right now when at least when we are filming right now. I don't know when I'll upload it, but it's October and you have about this semester to end and the next semester end, but you already have a full-time job in your hand. It must be like so nice to not worry about it, right?
That's true. That's very much true. So once you have a job in hand, then you can totally dedicate yourself to your graduate studies.
Yeah,
So you can
yeah,
totally focus on your studies and other extracurricular activities to get
yeah,
involved. So it
right.
really helps to have a job in hand. And
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
yeah.
And let's just dive right into it. Like, how did your job search start? When did you started your job search or for internship search? So we're gonna talk about everything about internship, and then we'll move from internship to how did it got converted into full time, which I think I know, but I want to see what was the story. So how did your internship search start?
So I landed in Dallas in August of 2019, and I was fortunate enough to have a good friend circle with me. So we all were mostly job oriented, and we all like started working on our resumes back in August only. So
Hmm.
we reviewed each other's resume and LinkedIn profiles, and kind of made sure that our profile looks good enough to the recruiters and to the hiring managers. And I started applying to jobs from September. That is less than a month into entering the university. I started applying for internships.
Nice.
And initially, my job application was pretty much like all different people, right? You just blindly apply to jobs on LinkedIn or the different careers sites of the
Yeah,
different companies.
yeah,
And that was what I was following in the initial couple of months. And because networking was kind of slow, it's a slow process in which you need to
hmm,
develop a good relationship with the person you are talking to, and it
yeah,
might take some time.
right.
So for this, like I started my for job search in September, and at the same time I was networking. I was doing problem solving on sites like LeetCode, HackerRank, etc. So it really helped me. And what I would encourage everyone is, if you are looking for software engineering jobs, then you should start doing solving problems and different data structures and algorithms questions right from your home country where you are
Hmm.
coming from. So
Right
start
from
early.
watching this, start watching. If
Yes,
you watch this video, you should start working right now. That's what I would say.
yes, true that. Because a lot of people here, what they do is they come here, then they start studying these questions, these problems,
Yeah.
and then they start applying in the next semester. That is, they start
Yes.
applying for jobs in January or February,
Right.
and or even late. They
Yeah.
think that they should be well prepared first and then they should be applying to jobs. That's totally wrong, I believe, because
Yeah.
the callbacks are pretty low. Everyone knows
Yeah.
that.
Right.
So it's advisable that you start applying and don't expect anything in return, because job search is very tough here.
So then how did you land up with LinkedIn? Was that the only company who responded back to you, or was that you interviewed with other companies as well?
So at the time when I got my LinkedIn interview, before that, I had applied to a total of 108 companies. And
Wow.
yeah.
How do you know that number? Do you have like a spreadsheet or
Yes.
something?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would encourage everyone to kind of maintain a
Yes.
spreadsheet in which you say the company name and the date you applied to this company and the current status of your application in this company, as that will help you keep a track later on, when the company responds. Or
I actually have made that exact same video. If I don't know if you watched it, but
I had watched that, and it
Yeah.
really helped me. Like, that gave me a motivation that I should also do something similar from my
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
Being organized is always good.
Because you end up applying to so many companies, and then one of them reach back and is like, which company was this, or what did I apply for? At least you
Yes.
can track back and it's like, okay, this was the job position. So yeah.
Yes.
So I 100% agree. So okay, 108 application. And then go forward. Yeah. What happened?
So out of that, interview calls I had only from LinkedIn and Amazon. Only two.
Well,
So-
two are enough. Those
Yeah.
are like big ones. So that's good.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the journey was, so I had my online assessments for Amazon, I guess in October 2019. So I passed those assessments, and then after that I had my interview for Amazon in the last week of November. And I thought that I performed very good in that interview. I answered the question which they asked in the interview I had perfectly answered the question, and I was pretty sure and confident that I might get accept. But surprisingly, I got a reject there. So
Yeah.
so that I was kind of it was a setback for me, because I
Yeah.
thought I had performed well, but still I had got a reject. Like, what is happening with my life?
Yeah.
I'm not getting any acceptances or any interview calls. So LinkedIn interview was there in that hand, it was already scheduled. So
Right.
then I thought, like, now I should prepare hard for LinkedIn,
Yeah.
because it might be for the better only. If had I gotten into Amazon, like, had I cleared that interview, then I would not have prepared that hard for LinkedIn. So
Yeah.
some things
Yeah.
like someone's loss is someone else's gain. So
Right.
it's
Yeah.
both way around. So for LinkedIn, I just apply to LinkedIn on LinkedIn. That's all.
Nice.
Yes.
So you did not use your handshake portal from college or something. You applied it online,
Yes. So
and there was no reference or anything. Purely
nothing like
just-
that.
Okay.
Nothing like that. So the thing is, LinkedIn's job portal, the job opening for LinkedIn is for very short duration, and generally it's in the month of October or so for the summer internship. So I just applied somewhere in the first week of October in 2019, and I had then received an email from the recruiter that my profile is going forward, and that email I received somewhere in the middle of November. So the first round was a HackerRank online assessment in which there were 2 questions asked.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, what does the process look like,
Okay.
but keep going.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So the process is, initially you get an online assessment. So there
Yeah.
was a HackerRank assessment in which there were 2 questions, and I didn't solve both the questions perfectly. So one question, all the test cases were running fine, but for the second question, I was failing, I guess, a couple of test cases. There was some time limit exceeded coming up in there. So I was thinking that, like a lot of companies, I will not hear anything from LinkedIn as well.
And
But
is that HackerRank question, do you have to solve it during the interview, or they just tell you that solve this and then give it back to us?
So generally they give a 3-day window or a 1 week window to solve the question at your own convenience and at your own time. So I think you have to solve the questions in
I'm
an
pretty
hour.
sure people are thinking, "अरे घर पे बैठ के तो solve करना है, so it might be easy. I can just Google it, right?" So, what's your response to that?
So the companies are not fools. They also know if people can do some kind of cheating or things like that. So they can easily detect if you have copied any solution online or if you have genuinely solved that question. So I would always encourage people to genuinely solve that question, because if you solve everything perfectly and then if you falter at the interview, then they know that this person was a false positive.
Yeah, you might clear the first round, but then when the interview comes and they ask you about specific line, that why did you edit this line, you'll be like, you would have no idea. So I agree. Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
Okay, so you solved your question. You were not hoping that you would not hear back, but you obviously heard back. What happened then?
Yeah, so the very next day, I got the email from the recruiter that I had passed the first online assessment and my application will be moving forward. So then there was a call with the recruiter set up. So it was an HR interview for 30 minutes in which they asked me about my interests, and I asked them about like how the internship experiences and how the interview process will look like, and they told me about the LinkedIn internship program. So it was pretty exciting and pretty good that time, the good things they told about LinkedIn. So I then thought that this is the company which I would like to work for, and I will kind of give my best shot
100%.
at it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after that, after the call was over, then the recruiter asked me for the dates, like when I would have to schedule my interviews. So the interviews will be two back-to-back telephonic interviews. So I scheduled the interviews after my first semester exams, because I did not wanted to kind of mess with my grades as well here at the university. So once my exams were over, so I still remember the date. It was 10th of December when I had scheduled for the interviews. So it was two back-to-back technical interviews of 1 hour duration each. And there was also a CoderPad link. So for those who don't know, CoderPad is a concurrent code sharing system in which like whatever code you type on your screen, that is visible to the interviewer as well. So both person can kind of collaborate on that code and try to solve it, the interviewer and the interviewee. So kind of like Google Docs, Google Sheets you have. So
right.
It's a concurrent editing code editing tool. So,
and is there like a video or just audio?
It was just audio.
Okay.
So the questions were standard problem solving questions which were asked in the interview. So they generally expect you to solve 2 questions per interview, so 4 questions in total, and solving questions is not enough. So there are a lot of follow-up questions as well which they ask, like the time complexity for this algorithm, or how can you make this more efficient, or if had you used this data structure, then how it will impact the performance of this algorithm, and things like that. So I think it's the follow-ups which kind of make or break your interview. So be prepared for the different follow-ups which might be asked during your interview. They take around a week or so for the decision, and after a week or so, then the recruiter calls you and tells whether you have passed or failed the interview and the feedback which you have received from the interviewers.
Okay.
And the thing was, the very next, so even if you pass the interviews at LinkedIn, you still don't have an offer officially. So it's kind of like Google. LinkedIn also follows a similar strategy of team matching, in which
Oh yeah.
your resume is sent to the pool of successfully passed interviews, and the different teams can take a look at your profile, and if they find that this person has the potential to work for this team, then they will approach you, and then the hiring manager will set up a call with you. So
Okay.
if you agree and they agree, like if there is an agreement from both the parties, then you will get an offer. So there might be cases where even if you have successfully cleared the interviews, you still might not be having an offer.
Because you might not be a good fit for the team.
Exactly.
And when you have a call with hiring manager, is it more technical or is it combination of both technical and behavior?
So it's mostly behavioral and mostly about my interests and the technical expertise I already know and the things which I want to learn. So they look into your curiosity to learn these new technologies or whatever you already know. So it's not that technical in nature, but mostly it's kind of a mutual agreement they look into.
Right, it's more like a discussion because they're trying to know if you will fit in the team and if you are a good fit or not, right?
So yeah, that's what I liked actually about the company, because if you don't like the team, then your resume is again in the team matching stage and some other team might approach you. So you are flexible enough to choose like what team you want to be part of as well. So this process actually varies from person to person. Like for some people, it might be done in a week or so. For me, it took around a month. So it was, I guess, partly because of the winter break, because the company has the shutdown
like
in December.
Holidays,
holiday season. So it happened somewhere in the middle of January, and the very next day I got my offer letter. So so by the middle of January I had an internship in hand.
So the team which they put you, so the team which they selected, that's the team you stuck with, or like were you passed out to another team as well?
So the first hiring manager which approached me, I liked the work of the team. I liked the team, so I said yes. So I got the offer in the first.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
Wow, this is like a lengthy process.
Yeah.
But so glad that you made it, and so
but it's
awesome
worth it in the end.
Yes.
Definitely.
Do you get free LinkedIn Premium membership now because you work for them?
Yes, I do. So every LinkedIn employee gets 5 or 10 free LinkedIn premiums to distribute to the people. So
can I get one free?
For sure, yes.
Okay, awesome,
whenever I join the firm next year.
Okay.
So mostly, so the premiums this time they had increased from 5 to 10 because of this COVID situation. So a lot of people were facing not getting jobs. So they increased the count from 5 to 10, and mostly these premiums were given to the students, the new grads who are graduating in this 2020 and still didn't have the jobs. Right. So when I joined the firm, I also got 10 premiums to distribute. So I made a post on LinkedIn that I'm distributing these free premiums, and I got tremendous response from the people. So like my LinkedIn inbox was flooded with messages. There would have been more than 500 or 600 people who had messaged me on LinkedIn that I am a full-time student at this university. I'm looking for a job and I don't have any job. And I was like, I wanted to help them. I wanted to help a lot of people, but unfortunately,
You're limited.
Yeah, there's a limit. So I chose like the best 10 from those, like the deserving ones who I thought like this premium will definitely help them. So it was very good. Like I felt good to help those people.
Yes.
And for the other people whom I was not able to help, so whatever job search related resources I had available, like there are a lot of resources, a lot of Google Doc sheets, or a lot of like different links available for them to prepare. So I just shared a lot of resources to those people. So
maybe you can share it with us as well, so we can put it in the description and they can access that.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So back to our interview process. So you got the offer letter. What kind of interview prep did you do for this kind of intensive interview?
So, firstly, if you are applying for a software engineering role, so you need to be very good with problem solving. And by problem solving, I mean data structures, algorithms, and any one language. Pick any one programming language in which you are comfortable in, and try to focus on that. So I had picked Java as my programming language, and I stuck to that language throughout, because the follow-up questions which might be asked, so they might be more specific to the language. So like for example, shall I go technical here, or
Yeah,
okay.
for sure. Yeah.
So like in one of the Java questions was like one of the questions, the follow-up was based on why I chose an iterator over a normal traversal in a loop. So there can be some concurrent access modification error which you might be getting if you don't use an iterator. So these are some kinds of things which you should be knowing in some language which you are choosing.
Right. Yeah.
So be sure for that, and practice. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
Lead Code is a very good platform out there for
Yeah.
people practicing problem solving questions. So make sure your fundamentals are clear, and one good way is like in your first semester at the university, you can take a course related to data structures and algorithms, as it will help you with the interview preparation as well. So yeah, apart from that, if you say the behavioral interviews, I would say like stay calm, stay confident, stay polite and humble at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then I want to know, what was your internship experience at LinkedIn? Like how did you feel? And was it you probably had in-person internship, right? Did you have to?
Unfortunately, it was not in person. It was remote.
Oh,
So I was not able to go to California this time.
got it. So how was your experience? Like, what kind of things did you learn in your internship?
So it was a very good learning experience for me at my internship, even though it was virtual, but still the kind of work which I was involved in, that made sure that I stayed motivated throughout the 12 weeks of my internship. And I met very amazing people out there, and the people were very talented. The work was good, and it was challenging as well at the same time, because there were a lot of new technologies in which I had to work, which I had no idea of. So it was a very steep learning curve for me there, and I really enjoyed it. And it was filled up with a lot of fun events as well in between the internship, the virtual events, which made sure that we all don't stay demotivated, don't get demotivated in between.
Yeah. How were you able to connect with your team members? Because since it's not in person, like how did you manage to connect? And like, one, did you connect? And if you did, how did you guys connect with each other?
So yeah, so for an internship, so I will say that internship is kind of like an extended interview. So it's a 3 month long interview, and you are judged at every point, I believe. So they see that if this person is able to work with us for full time, so they do take a look at how you are performing throughout the internship. So it's always good to connect with the teammates, ask questions, and it should not be like you are always asking the questions and not doing the silliest of things out there. So be sure like when to ask the right question, and don't get stuck at one point for a long time. And because every teammate is helpful, they know their work, and they will always try to help you out, because they also know that this person is an intern and he might not be having that much experience working in this technology. So always be ready to ask questions and connect with people. Maintain a good relationship with the people.
So do you guys talk on LinkedIn Messenger, or do you guys have their own different messenger?
So we generally used to talk on Slack. So and the meetings and all were mostly either on Zoom or Blue Jeans. So these were the platforms which we're using. The salary range, I believe, it varies if you are doing a bachelor's or a master's. So the master's students get slightly more than what bachelors get, and it ranges, I guess, from $40 to $50 in between that.
Wow, that's crazy, and that's awesome. What are kind of the tools and technology did you use during your internship? Obviously, you don't have to give like specific details, but like technologies or like tools you use day to day, in your day to day experience. Yeah.
I was part of the LinkedIn notifications team, the team which is responsible for sending the push notifications, emails, and SMS to LinkedIn members. So my work was mostly focused with distributed stream processing. So I worked on technologies like Apache Kafka, Apache Samza, RocksDB. So
Wow, I have no idea about all this.
yeah. So these technologies are like, so Kafka and Samza, both these were developed by LinkedIn and now made open source to the community.
Okay.
So Kafka
Like,
is,
what's the base? Is it like Java based?
it's Java based. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
got
Java
it.
based. So that really helped me because back in India when I was working at Oracle, so it
Java,
was again
yeah.
Java based only. So
Right.
my work experience really helped me in my internship with like knowing the basic stuff, like you have the daily stand-ups or the scrum meetings, the agile methodologies which you follow, and then you have to like kind of use various collaboration tools and things like that. So I was already knowing.
What kind of project management tools did you use? Let me guess.
Jira. Yeah, everyone uses Jira. A lot of firms. So yeah. So that was good that I already knew all these things, and I was not kind of overwhelmed with these kind of stuff, and I was able to totally focus on my work.
Yeah, 100%. Atlassian tools, if people going into big firms, they definitely use Jira, Confluence, Bitbucket.
Yes.
So, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Git is also a good tool which you should definitely be knowing.
Moving on to the next part, which is I'm very interested. Like, was that during your internship, because this is your first time having internship in United States, was there like an aha moment, like, oh, this is how company works, or this is how things happen over here?
Yes. So it's always a good practice to write production level code, very efficient code, and which should be easily readable. But at the same time, it's also good to have to kind of review your code. Like you should be able to review others' code. So not only you should write your own code, but you should have that skill to review others' code as well. And that's what I liked from my teammates. So like I was an intern, so I was not able to review a lot of code, but I just admired the code which people write there. So how efficient people write their code and how it makes the platform so scalable and good to use for the public out there. So it's always good, and then be consistent and always ask right questions and don't waste time being stuck.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What was the moment when they told you, like, or how did the internship got converted into the full-time job? Like, was there interview again at the end of your internship, or they just told you that, hey, we're gonna extend this internship?
So this time the situation was a bit difficult because of this COVID issue. So a lot of my friends also were not able to secure secure a full-time offer this time. So obviously, like for sure, it depended on your work. Like you need to finish your project well in time, write production level code, and have a good relationship with your teammates. They should feel like this person is whom we should be able to work in future, workable with. So you should be that kind of person. And yeah, for sure, like stay humble, stay polite, and maintain a good relationship with the teammates. Yeah, that's what I have to add here.
Did your company like call you and told you on the last day that we're gonna offer you full time, or how does that happen?
So it happened a lot late. So I think it was in the month of September or so. In the last week of September, I got a call from the recruiter that I will be getting the full time offer.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you finished your internship obviously in July or end or August sometime.
It was in the first week of August.
First week of August, right? And then you finished it, and then obviously did you reach out to recruiter, or recruiter just told you that hey, we're gonna offer you?
So they only had said in the first place that they will let me know by they will let all the interns know of the decisions by the end of September. So that's when they will reach out to everyone to say if they have gotten an accept or a reject. So yeah, so it was pretty.
How was your feeling when they called you or when they emailed you?
It was again a very good feeling, a very satisfying feeling that yes, you have an offer in hand now at this time when a lot of people are struggling with the jobs, and it's a difficult time actually, and I do feel a lot for the people out there. Like it feels good that you have something, but it doesn't feel good at the same time that others don't have that thing. So that's why I believe that since I have a job, then I should help people out there. So I created a LinkedIn post that I have gotten a job at LinkedIn, and I used to spend like an hour or so for job search daily. And now I have that 1 hour free with me. So I can help the people out there in that free time, which I'm having that 1 hour, so that people do get a job somewhere. Because it's LinkedIn's motto to create economic opportunity for the whole global workforce. So I should follow that motive now. I'm a part of that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And is your job going to be in California, or is it still going to be in Dallas?
It's going to be in California, Sunnyvale. If the office is open by May 21, hoping for the best.
Well, if you do come in Bay Area, then let me know, because we can then finally meet in person.
Absolutely, I would love that as well.
Yeah, awesome. Again, and I know that you said that you would love to help, and of course I'll leave your link in the description so people can connect with you on LinkedIn and everywhere else. But also this itself is going to help a lot of people and inspire a lot of people. So thank you for your time. I know it's kind of late from your end and your time. So again, thank you so much for doing this. Is there any last tips or words of wisdom you want to say before we end the call?
So I would like to say, be bold, be consistent, don't give up, don't panic, and there might be some setbacks, there might be some rejections, you might not get any responses, but just be consistent, never give up. So you never know when your day is, when you will get that one call back. So just be consistent, that's what I would like to say to everyone, and never give up.
Nice. You can also say like keep smiling.
Exactly, yeah. That I was just about to add. Keep smiling, keep hustling for sure, always.
And also watch my videos.
Like, comment and subscribe to UDJ's channel.
Awesome, man. Again, thank you so much for doing this. Until our next one.
Keep smiling, keep hustling.
Gotta hustle every single day. Thank you, man.